Hey everybody, so welcome back to North Fork. I'm Derek, thanks for joining us today. So today we're going to be working on putting dual tire chains on the back of this dump truck. We're in the middle of a snowstorm right now, and we've got the front tire chains on, but we don't have the backs on yet. So I'd like to get the back chains on. So in one of the previous videos where we got a whole bunch of snow, I ended up putting the tire chains on in the middle of that snowstorm, in the middle of plowing that snow, and I didn't get the back ones on, but now that we've got some snow already on the road, it's a little bit icy underneath. I want to make sure I got the chains all around on this thing, and I make sure I have all the traction that I need to get up and down the driveway and to plow the snow. The first big snowstorm that we got this year, we got about 24 inches, and I made a couple videos of that. And today they're forecasting anywhere between 12 and 16 inches. We've got maybe 2 inches on the ground right now. Not a whole lot, but over the next 2 days we're supposed to get quite a bit of snow. Enough that I need to get things taken care of here with the dump truck and get ready for that. So let's get the dump truck started and pull it out here, and we'll start putting the chains on. Alright, if you've never seen any other videos that I've done about our dump truck, we call it Elvis because that's what it was named when we got the dump truck. It's a 1981 GMC C7000. It's a single axle dump, but the nice thing about it, what works really great for us, is that it's all-wheel drive. So with it being all-wheel drive, I put chains on it. Thing's just a beast in the snow. It'll plow anything we want to go up and down the hill. But when you get the plow on the front, no chains on the back, it does need some traction. Some weights in the back would probably help, but right now the bed's empty. So like I mentioned, the front chains are on here from the last snowstorm that we had, and I actually broke one of the cross links here. So we're going to fix that first, try to tighten these chains up, and then we'll get to the back. All right, so this is the link that's broken. The cross chain here is broken, and broke a link right there. So there's a couple different repairs that you can do. You can use what they call a cold shut, which you put it in there and then you pound this down and peen it over, and that makes a link like that. These work really well. They are tough to put on though once you already have the chains on the truck. They're good to do on the bench if you take the chains off. But today we're just going to be putting these on here, fixing it on the truck. So we're going to use the other option, which is called a quick link. And these have a little nut that goes back and forth. And on this cross link, you can see I already used one of those on this to fix this cross link. So we're going to put this quick link on here to fix this chain. And we use a wrench and just tighten this up. All right, now let's go ahead and snug these chains up. They loosened up a little bit, so we'll snug them up, try to get another link out of them, and then we'll move on to the back. So these chains work off of a cam system, actually all the chains that I have for this truck. So there's a little tool that goes into here, and then they slide around and they tighten up. So we're going to loosen all of these and then try to get another link to make these chains a little tighter. So we actually got a link on the front and the back to tighten them up. And we use these cams and tighten these up this way.
Can I try doing it?
Is there here's one?
Okay. So I twist it.
So you twist it that way? Yep. Yep. Keep going, keep going. Keep going. There you go. I got one more down here. These last ones always help.
That's actually pretty hard.
Yep.
It looks pretty simple, but it's not.
Alright, so we got these all tightened up, and they should be good to go. We'll move on to the back and get the back on. Alright, so the tire chains, I like to lay these out and make sure everything's straight, make sure nothing's twisted. Make sure that it looks alright, make sure there's no broken links or anything like that I need to fix before I put them on. So it depends on which way these chains need to go onto the wheel. Depends on which way you pick them up. If you pick them up from this way and put them up, or if you wrap them up over that way. Depends on how these links are. You want these links to come up underneath and hook around that way. So I'm going to take that piece of the chain and put it over. I usually grab around the middle and drape it over the tire that way. Looks pretty good now. So on the dual tires, I usually try to hook the inside and outside end links and then hook the one in the center. That's what works for me. but you might find an easier way to do it. But for me, that he's inexperienced and doesn't know what he's doing, that's the best way that I've found to do it. So I'm going to hook the inside. And hook the outside. Then once those are hooked, I like to jack up the axle, and I can turn the tire around and I can get to the one in the center, the link in the center. I've already put the other side on, so I've already got the truck jacked up, so I'm just going to be able to turn the tires around here and hook the one in the center. Sometimes you really have to wrestle these around if you don't get them on straight, to try to get the chains to sit straight and get them down in the grooves and everything like that, but that one they went pretty easy. That's the way they should go. But it doesn't always work out that way for me. So once you get them hooked, I've got this hooked all the way on the tightest one. You want to keep it as tight as possible. Just make sure everything's on there straight. And then these are just like the front. They've got this cam right here that we're going to turn and tighten everything up. So again, I usually start on the back side and I tighten those cams, and then I come out here to the front and finish tightening them up front or on the outside. So these are the links here. Tighten them up. And again, with the truck jacked up in the air, I can spin this around and tighten the next one. Alright, so then we got them all tight. We'll move around on the outside then and do those. So that last one's going to be a little bit tight to get. If you need to, I sometimes put a pipe on the end of this. A little bit of penetrating fluid on here. They get rusted a little bit, but a little bit of penetrating fluid on there, a AWD 40 or something to help them slide a little easier. That works pretty well too. So then you've got this tail hanging down here, the tail of the chains. If you're going to leave them on the truck all the time, you can cut this off. If you know you're always going to be on this last link here, you can cut this extra off. I'm not going to do that because I may not always have this truck. So I'd like to keep these chains the way they are as best as possible. So I'm going to zip tie these up. So you could also use mechanics wire or a clothes hanger or something like that. Anything to keep it up. Zip ties, just a quick, easy way to do it, quick and dirty. But you got to watch that they don't break. They get brittle when they get cold, and they could rub on stuff and they could break. So you got to keep an eye on it. Again, I'm not running on highway. I'm not running highway speeds, so it's not a big deal to me. But yeah, if you're running on the highway, you really got to be careful of that. We'll make sure they're nice and tight. Flip off your ends. They won't move around on you, anything like that. Go make sure that you do the inside ones and the ones in the middle too. Get them tied up so that they don't come off, and that's all you got to do. Alright, so that's all there is to putting those rear tire chains on. They can be heavy sometimes and can be a pain to get them adjusted right and on there straight. You do have to drive them a little bit and then check them again, make sure they haven't loosened up. The front side on here, the last snowstorm, and they had loosened up. I adjusted them a little bit more. But the backs, they should be good. I think they're as tight as they can get on there, so I think it's where I ran them last time. But make sure you check them and listen for those links to come apart or anything to loosen up. You can hear them as you're driving. You hear the chains loosen up. You don't want to run chains when they're loose. They can cause problems, ripping brake lines off, and things like that. So we should be all ready for the snow here. Again, it's been snowing the whole time I've been out here. Again, we only got like 2 or 3 inches right now, but it's supposed to snow all day today, tomorrow, and into tomorrow night. So out here at North Fork, we just enjoy the outdoors, being outside all the time. It doesn't matter if it's snowing, raining, hot or cold. We're out here and we just enjoy where we live, and this is what we do. So I appreciate you sticking around. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you in the next one. I just want to do a quick update, let you guys know that when I was showing the front chains, I realized when I was editing the video that the chains were on backwards. I had these hooks hooked to the inside the way you're not supposed to be. So this is the way that they're supposed to be. They're supposed to be hooked so the hooks go up so these hooks don't poke into your tire, because these hooks can poke a hole in your tire and wear your tire. So this is the way they should be hooked. So when I was editing that video, I noticed that I came out here, changed them, and so now we're good to go. So if you noticed that, good job on catching my error on that, my mistake. I put those chains on when we had the real deep snow, and so I got them fixed. So everything's good to go. Thanks for watching. Catch you on the next one.